Well, landfills are not the only option for getting rid of trash. Some waste is disposed of in plants where it's burned for energy. If this seems like a great idea, think again. Mark Martin takes a closer look at the process and the potential danger.
Like a giant claw, a huge crane slowly descends into a pit filled with tons of trash, or municipal solid waste as it is known in the industry. This energy resource recovery facility near Washington, D.C. is Covanta Energy's largest energy from waste facility. According to the EPA, it's one of 86 plants that burns municipal solid waste to recover energy. This plant processes around 3,000 tons of municipal solid waste each day. Company leaders say that produces enough electricity for 80,000 homes.
First key to a very efficient and clean combustion process is mixing the waste well. So you can see and hear the cranes behind me mixing that waste and then slowly feeding it to the boilers that create the steam that then makes the electricity for those homes.
However, for attorney Mike Ewa, the co-director of the Energy Justice Network, the process is definitely not clean.
Incineration, first of all, is not waste to energy. They like to call it that, but what it really is waste turned into toxic ash and toxic air emissions. Incineration releases a lot of toxic metals like lead, mercury, arsenic, cadmium. It releases dioxins and furans, which are the most toxic chemicals known to science. And these chemicals get into the food supply.
Leaders at Covanta maintain measures are in place to comply with EPA regulations and to protect people from harmful emissions.
The emphasis on air pollution control equipment today and efficient recovery of the energy that's in your waste really has made it a remarkable source of renewable power.
They also say the ash produced from the combustion process is safely stored. Up there on that ridge is the ash monofill. The gray material is actually the ash that's produced from the burning of municipal solid waste, while the white material is a liner that has been put down to prevent the leaching of rainwater into the soil.
Is there fugitive ash from these monofills? Is there metal leaching out of that concrete as it sets up? And the answer to those questions and the long-term monitoring is no. If you've done it right, and that's what we set out to do, that's what the local environmental agencies assure that we do, then you don't have an issue with the ash and you don't have an issue with air emissions associated with these facilities.
I am not in any way concerned for my health from that monofill. It's very well built. It follows strict guidelines from the local Department of Environmental Quality. I have no concerns for myself or my family and my 3 kids who live right in this community.
Mary Jane Reyes isn't convinced. She lives about 8 miles from the Covanta facility. Reyes tells CBN News she wants to raise awareness of the dangers associated with the combustion of municipal solid waste.
When I saw that they had built homes so close, I saw children in the street playing. So it was just, they're all so innocent, and they're potentially going to have a lot of years not on their lives.
I'm here in the neighborhood believed to be closest to the plant and to the landfill where the ash is dumped. You can see the stack from the plant right over there. Ewa says the people living in this neighborhood are definitely in harm's way.
And if I lived here, I'd be very concerned. I wouldn't want to live in a community where I have this many toxic chemicals coming out of an incinerator stack, where the heavier pollutants will drop right on this community and I'd be breathing them, and where the landfill gas from the landfill right next door also would be affecting the community.
Bruce Pham's backyard is near this tree-lined ridge. Behind the ridge, the ash landfill.
When I first moved in here, it was a short-term thing, but if I were to live here long-term, it would concern me. Just the fact that, being so close, we're not sure how much of it runs off, or, and to be honest, most of the biggest concern is just the smell. Sometimes it really can be odorous around here in certain mornings.
There are odors because they're coming off of these facilities and have many other chemicals mixed in with them. So some of those chemicals have odors. Many of the other hundreds of chemicals mixed into these gases you will never smell, but they will affect your health.
Despite the concerns of nearby residents, Facility manager Scott Drew denies odors are a problem.
Combustion air comes through the tipping floor doors, comes under the pit wall and into the unit, always keeping the odor inside.
Okay.
We've in the 15 years that I've been here, there has not been one single odor complaint from the facility.
EWAL's Energy Justice Network doesn't buy it.
It's important that people organize to make sure that this incinerator is closed down, which from DC, where I live, we'll be working to make sure that we stop sending waste here when the contract comes up in a couple of years. And to make sure that the landfill stops operating as well, because it shouldn't be this big and continue to expand this close to residents.
Mark Martin, CBN News, Lorton, Virginia.